5th, and it was held here in Town Hall. They've been reviewed by the three of us, and we agree that everything is in order. Heather does an excellent job.
Yep, make a motion to accept the
Okay.
minutes.
Without
Second
further ado,
motion.
I'll say no more. Thank you. Okay, all in favor? Say aye. Okay, aye, okay. Okay, moving on to the next item in our agenda. We are on the...
Bridges.
The bridges.
All right,
Okay.
we have got a speed meeting this. Okay, originally we thought we were gonna go to Concom tonight for, with an RDA, request for determination of applicability for our proposed bridges and such out there. I gave Frank Duggan a call last week for a little assistance with, you know, I mean, little direction on filling this out, because this is, you know, you kind of need, from what I was reading, I didn't know whether we needed waivers or this or that, you know what I mean? There's a lot of different stuff here, and I'm not really an engineer that deals with civil type stuff, so. And it was brought to my attention that we actually, even though we posted
This is for me.
as, like, our discussion here, as our public hearing, because we were asked to do an RDA, that informal discussion on our end is now, this triggers, we have to go officially before conservation, so we have to repost, Dave, essentially what you did before. Well, I'll find out exactly what the wording needs to be from conservation tonight, but, so in 3 weeks' time, we will go before conservation with the RDA, and that needs to be posted for, you know, we don't have to send out certified letters to the abutters, but we need to go through, post it on the website and the Sun, that we are going to have a meeting to determine the applicability.
Do we need to meet before that?
No, this is.
We're just gonna go to Concom?
We're just gonna go to Concom, and what it is, we've already had all the meetings, and we beat this like a dead horse, everybody likes the idea, but officially now, we need to notify everyone that would be interested that, you know, we're going to go officially before Concom. So
Do I
that's,
post it as one of our meetings?
No,
Do all
no,
three of us will
that's-
be there?
I mean, we can all go there, but it's not, we're not gonna be deciding anything, we've already decided it now, that we're gonna go for it, so,
Okay,
you know what I mean, we're just going to appear.
as long as it's in the Sun and on their agenda,
Well, that's what I'm going to
find out.
I'm going to nail that down this evening, and I'm also gonna give them my RDA, which my printer is lousy, apparently, so they can hopefully review it and tell me if, I'm even filling this out correctly, so that, you know, in 3 weeks' time, hopefully we won't have a problem.
So the only step that needs to be taken now is to get the sanction of the Conservation Committee for us to carry through on this.
Yes, pretty much, yes, that's it.
Okay.
That's it on bridges.
Matter on the bridges? I have no questions myself. However, I have noticed those granite pilings.
Yes.
They're
Yeah,
down on Vine Street.
Yep.
So,
We're ready to go. We're ready to go. I thanked Benji last week. I called him up and thanked him for
now,
having
those are the only ones that you brought out, or are there some located elsewhere? Is that just,
Park Drive.
those are the only ones?
No, there's 4 there, and there's 4 down
Oh, I
Park
see.
Drive.
The other location.
Yep. That way, 2 from that side, 2 from the other
Oh,
side.
they're already down there?
Yes, he delivered them.
Yep. It's easy to see when you drive by on Pine Street.
Yep.
Which I go through every day now. Okay, so it's, okay, folks, I may be the chairperson here, but much of the meeting this evening will be run by Adam and Heather. I've had a heck of a lot of irons in the fire lately, and sometimes I think I'm not retired anymore. Seem to be busy with a lot of other things. One of them being Meals on Wheels. I am taking over the center, which is St. John's Church, for the next few weeks, because our current director she hasn't resigned, but she's been under medical care for a while. She's had to have some surgery done on her knees, and now has to go through a recuperation period. And you just don't go in there and tell people where to deliver the lunches. You soon discover you got to do some lunch deliveries yourself. So I have 2 routes I have to do, and in addition to running the center, and that plus a few other things that just happened today have really crowded my schedule, something fierce. So I do appreciate Adam and Heather really carrying on the bulk of the work here as far as our current issues with the forest, whether they be the debated 32 acres or other aspects, which we hope will be more attractive, shall we say, for town participation, the trail maintenance days, and whether other activities, our celebration of our town forest day as well. Okay, now that I've said my piece, what's next, Heather?
The letter. The letter.
The letter?
And for anyone who walked in late, we have to let you know that HCAM is filming the meeting. So I received a letter from Mr. Sidharth, who is the prospective developer of the 32-acre property. I'm probably gonna get really upset because this really upset me. I received two, actually. I received one that was delivered certified mail and one that was delivered by the Norfolk County Sheriff Constable. It said that if I ever put foot on his property, the 54 or 58 acres he owns on Pine Street, that I would be arrested and prosecuted. I just want it known that this is what he's doing. I've never set foot on his property. I don't plan to ever set foot on his property. It's private property. It's none of my business. It's not the forest. But I still received two letters. I have filed a complaint with the Holbrook Police Department, and I still have to follow up with them regarding the second letter that I have received. I know others have received them as well. I believe I'm the only one on the Town Forest Committee who has received one.
As of yet, but I'm sure once we discuss this a little further tonight, I'm sure more will be forthcoming.
I just have one question, and I think I haven't really scoured the forest as much as you two have. He claims you have stepped, or you have.
No, it just says I'm not allowed. It
Well,
says I'm not allowed.
the thing I'm curious about, has he posted any no trespassing signs? Has he clearly got those? So how can we tell where his property is if he doesn't have some kind of posted boundaries there?
Well, Dave,
Yeah.
another thing that
Yeah.
I don't think Heather hit on, if you read the letter says, any of his property that he owns or manages or anything. Well, guess what? He buys that 32 acres in another 2 weeks. You're getting arrested next time you lead a hike out in the forest. All right?
So clearly, it'll be for all public use except for those of us who receive letters.
For those people who, don't think that the land should be sold and should be conserved? Is that what it's come to?
Wow.
I mean, we're gonna be done in, we're gonna give you,
I'm gonna sit down so I can.
oh, sure,
Come on in.
We'll be done in 15 minutes to give you guys time.
Yeah, plenty of time for you.
Do you guys take questions?
Absolutely,
Yep.
sorry.
Can I ask, has the town administrator or any of the selectmen been notified of this?
I notified the town administrator after I got my first letter. I've CC'd both Adam and Dave on the email. I have had no response. I did file a complaint with the Holbrook Fire Department, Police Department. I still have to follow up with the second letter that I've received.
Wow. And how long after did the second letter arrive?
A week and a half or so.
Wow.
So to me, I felt like I was being falsely accused of something because it insinuates to me that I have been on his property, which I have not. But to get a letter saying that you're going to be arrested, I have 3 kids. I volunteer for everything under the sun. I've done nothing wrong.
So it's more like a warning, actually. He hasn't said you've been there, but he's warning you to stay off. Is that what he's saying?
Right. But then everybody in Holbrook should get one,
Yeah.
not me.
And again, my response would be, sir, where are the no trespassing signs so we know where your property is? I mean, everything all kind of runs together there. How do we know where one ends and the other begins? Unless you're a land surveyor and you've actually been out there, and even then the general public isn't going to know this. Yeah. Yeah.
But more importantly is the thing that Adam brought up about going on to the 32 acres, that you will also be arrested if you're on that, because he'll be holding that.
By the letter that you have right there, that's what it states.
So even if it's sold to him and it's public use, I would not be anyone who receives letters. So I'm a town forest committee member, but I couldn't lead a
No,
hike
it
out
has larger
there.
ramifications other than just you. That
Okay.
can be sent out to anyone else
There was
about going on to this contested 32 acres.
Well, we've got Mr. Forty here, so if you guys decide against, I'm just because you just happen to be here. But for example, we've got a member of the Conservation Commission here.
Right.
Well, I hope you guys don't like, find any fault with anything he does, because you might be arrested if you step on his property too. I mean,
Carol, did you hear what Hedwig received?
Yeah,
No, I didn't.
She got a
read it
A no trespass order from who?
Mr. Sidhoff.
from the secretary.
personally from the
For
sheriff.
for his property, right?
Mhm.
For
His
any
property
property
only?
owned.
It says lots numbered 340, 360, 380, 390, and 392 Weymouth Street. It goes on to say, "You are hereby served with notice from this day forward, you are forbidden from entering in or upon any property owned or managed by me in the town of Holbrook, Massachusetts. Be advised, your presence on any of the described properties will constitute a trespass. You are further on notice that a violation of this notice may result in your immediate arrest and a complaint issuing against you in the Plymouth District Court." And they sent it says a copy of the letter was sent to the Holbrook Police Department. However, when I filed my first complaint with the police department, they had not received a copy of the first letter he sent me. I've received two.
You're a quasi special town, special municipal employee, okay? That's what your designation is. So you, as a town official, must adhere to people's constitutional rights of search and seizure. That's all that's saying, okay? So if his property is not clearly identified and you happen to wander on it, I can't see that any kind of arrest warrant will be issued. However, you know, as a building official, I'm not allowed in certain buildings, you know what I mean? Because I have enforcement authority. You may have some independent authority as a town forest committee member. However, you're still a special municipal employee, and basically your acts are covered under, you know, under the town, if you're there on duty. If you're not there on duty, then it becomes a personal trespass issue. However, if the property's not clearly identified and marked and posted as such, how are you supposed to know?
Can we,
At least we're talking the same issue right here that needs to be
And-
clearly marked. And
Far
like,
as
for
I know,
example,
I've
can
never
I
done.
just again use the example of whatever happened to Old English Village? I don't know, but at certain areas where you could enter the property, there were signs warning the public this is private property, with warnings that there were, video surveillance also. Fine, let him do that, but let's see where they are. You can put his video
Right,
surveillance.
so the difference
give him a
between-
sign, let us know.
The difference between a normal citizen walking on a property and a town official is constitutional rights. So they have rights against illegal search and seizure under the Fourth Amendment. So in essence, you have to make sure that you're not there under your official duties as a town, you know, committee of the town forest committee chair or even town committee forest member. The difference is being escorted to the property line and actually being up on a civil rights violation, so.
can we speak to the fact that a random, maybe potentially the one person on the forest committee that didn't speak kindly to the 32 acres received a threatening letter delivered by sheriff of a potential developer in our town?
Well, again, I mean, you have a right to question this as a special municipal employee for the town of Holbrook. I would turn that in, because if you are basically voicing your, you know,
Concern.
your opinion or your pro or con as a town official, and that is directed to you, is it addressed to you personally?
Yes.
Okay. So,
And I had contacted the town administrator and I haven't had a response.
okay.
So it sounds like she's attacking.
How long ago did you email everyone, Heather? Can I ask? Do you mind?
The day I got the letter,
That was the day of town meeting, May 10th.
yeah, it was. I
Town
can't
meeting,
find my other one.
the day of the town meeting?
Yes.
It was that morning I received it was that morning. I can't find my first one. I've got my one that was delivered by constable, but I don't have the one that was delivered.
Are you
I
looking into
certified
any
now.
legal protection of yourself at all?
No, I had mentioned to the town administrator that if I received any further correspondence, that I would look into a restraining order. I felt threatened. I felt like
Absolutely.
I did, and I was nervous. I never got anything like that. So,
Town council is here usually one day a week or one day a month. You might want to speak to him, that's Dave DeLuca,
okay.
and it's a service that he owes to the town. And he would be able to answer your questions a lot better.
Good.
You know.
Get the legal.
There is a
volunteer.
time slot, I think, of every week, or it's bi-monthly or something, but he's here. You might want to make it a point to come down and talk to him. If you're concerned about being intimidated as a town employee, I've had threats made against me as a town employee, and I called the police, so, that's not a threat, that is just a directive to stay off someone's property, but if it turns into something more, then, you might be afforded protection as a town, as a special municipal employee, so.
You don't consider, I mean, I'm just to kind of play devil's advocate here. She was the only person on the committee that didn't speak on behalf of the purchase, and she received this letter that has nothing to do with her. She's never stepped foot on any of his land before. You don't think that's threatening?
Strikes me as a bullying tactic.
I think, I would be
Are you
scared.
the chair
That's how I
of the
see
town
it.
forest committee?
No, I'm secretary.
Then maybe they'll be getting one too.
Well, that's what I said, I mean, we'll see, we have yet to see what's going on, I mean,
Right. Not that we
Okay,
want
well-
it on.
so, well, I mean, just because we are pressed on time,
Yeah.
I mean, I just,
Go on to happier topics?
go on to happier topics, I mean, that it's very awesome that Bill walked in to give us a little more info and direction on who to
Yeah.
talk to.
I've been told to stay off of people's property all the time.
Well,
I'm used to it.
I also mentioned the fact that, it says Plymouth, you'll be brought to Plymouth County District Court. We're not in Plymouth County, we're in Norfolk County. You'd go to,
The letter probably goes beyond a friendly warning, and that's what you probably need to speak to, the town's attorney on. town
He also
council.
owns land in Plymouth County. though.
no, but it
That's
just,
why-
maybe it was done down there.
I hope it's got a name clearly marked on it, so I'll know where I can go and can't go.
I'd be interested to find out if anyone's going to follow, other than the, I would imagine the police will follow up with him.
When I
Well, I mean,
spoke with them, they said they were gonna reach out to him. because
I mean, nothing
received
for
it
nothing,
on
I could,
email.
pull a no trespass on, well, I couldn't pull it on Bill because he was on the Concom, but, well, I guess I could, but I mean, but regardless, you know what I mean? I could say, I don't like you, you can't come on my property. Right? I mean,
Sad to
it's,
say it, maybe,
it's not, I don't know if the police could get involved in that.
not to speculate too much, but it sounds like maybe he's just trying to make a test case to see what
Right.
Heather would react, and then come after Adam and me next, just to see what our reactions will be, When oftentimes we'll just choose one person, might as well use the word victim, and then just see what the fallout may be, if there is any.
Well, the thing is, it just doesn't make sense.
Still-
I mean, Heather's never done anything to him, and, like, legitimately, never done anything to him, and nothing for nothing, but he's winning. They're gonna auction the land off, he's gonna get to buy the land. Well, regardless, as of town meeting, it was voted on to protect 26 and, sell the whole thing with, 6, 8, whatever the numbers are. So, I mean, he's winning. Why go with the bullying tactics? It just doesn't, that's my only question. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense. If you're winning, why be petty? Why be whatever? I don't know. I don't know what the right word is.
Getting away from
Trail
our
maintenance
happier
day.
topics.
All right, trail maintenance day. Let's
Trail
move on.
maintenance. Sure, go ahead. Trail maintenance is scheduled for, same date, June 10th, 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock PM, okay? And it's a maintenance day, a work day, meaning those who are invited to come with some kind of tools, if you have any, clippers, loppers, little hand saws. Doesn't have to be anything electric or gasoline powered. And the whole thing is clearing the trails and making sure the marks are easy to read on the trees. And we're not to, I might as well ask this question, are we anticipating painting any of the new marks there, or just?
I haven't checked to see if what needs to be painted.
They've all been handled very nicely.
Yeah,
Thanks to Adam. A lot
I
of
think,
marks are there.
I mean, maybe a section of Diamond Trail might need to be done, but I would propose on maintenance day that the section of the Diamond Trail that goes up behind the house there on Forrest,
Oh, yeah.
that I say we, decommission that section of the trail, block it off with brush and everything, just because it's going to, like when I came to Concom one night, I was like, does anyone know what this you know what I mean? Is this guy out here cutting the trees, or, you know what I mean? It's like, that's actually somebody's property that the trail goes up into somebody's backyard, so, I think at a safe distance from their yard, we just put some brush across the trail and dead end it as far as we're concerned. That way you just keep people from, someone's out there looking at the trail map, and next thing you know, they're walking up in somebody's backyard, so
Yeah, 'cause-
that would be something that I would
Brush should be the first
Suggest-
thing to clear, right? And then, as far as repairing any sign painting, that can wait till midsummer or maybe early fall if it needs it, although quite a bit of it's been done already, thanks to Adam and his crews. Okay, it's how to contact the Town Forest Committee for more information. Lunch will be provided, are we having pizza?
I don't know, I haven't decided, what do you guys wanna do?
Yeah.
Well, Adam had brought up, oh no, that was for the other one. I don't know, I can do that, I can do sandwiches, I can do anything, whatever you guys wanna do.
I don't know, pizza seems to be the universal food. Anybody loves pizza?
That works.
You gotta tell us the menu, that depends on whether or not I'm gonna show up.
Well, what do you like?
If it's peanut butter and jelly, I'm sorry, I'm.
Pizza's
Bill, what do you like? I'll tell you anything it takes to get you there, brother.
What day is it?
June 10th,
June 10th, Saturday.
Saturday, June 10th.
Graduation party.
Okay, and she had us put together some very good notices. I hope we'll get them posted around in all
That
the right
one's on
places.
the website right
That's the only
now.
one, website, okay. All right, and our town forest anniversary day, Town Forest Day we call it. And what day was that scheduled for?
That's the 17th.
The 17th, the following Saturday. That'll be our celebration day. So far, we will try to have a minister present. I know for sure I can get one as long as her schedule hasn't changed.
Do you wanna talk to her this week so that if she can't,
I'll
we can
do
talk
that.
to someone
Okay,
else?
get an alternate if we need it. Okay, that's the minister at the Methodist Church. I've already forgotten her name, but I'm sure I can get back to her quickly and all. And start off with a blessing of the forest, and then have some activities that'll be family-friendly, and hopefully the kids and adults and teenagers of all, people of all ages can really enjoy getting out there. And of course, we have to hope and pray we don't get any more of this strange weather we've been having. Hope the rain stays away for that particular day. Okay, any other events that are scheduled? Okay, that's that. Okay, what else do we have here? Anything?
That's pretty much it.
That's it.
Unless anyone has
That's
anything.
Okay.
That's our typical hour and a half in
And I'm not-
17 minutes or less, so it can be done.
Okay. And again, I apologize for my own lateness. As I said, it was a busy day, and one of the last things I had to do was to help my bowling team get into the final playoffs, okay? And we've made it, therefore. I appreciate your patience in waiting for me to get here. And the season will be over in a couple of weeks, so I'll have more afternoon, evening time for these meetings and other events, of course. Well, should we make a motion to adjourn?
Well, does anyone have anything
Oh,
else that
yes.
they'd like to say?
Sure.
I'd like to say something, it's on a lighter note than one of these subjects, but it's a little, it's kind of a zinger. I myself and some of the friends of the Holbrook Forest have done some studies on the deed history, and pretty extensive.
Excuse me, is this your work?
Yes, it is. It's actually the Norfolk Registry's work. But it goes from Tricon Realty to Ralph Tedeschi, trustees of Declaration Trust. Then it goes to, I have the old assessors maps from 1966 and 68, Holbrook. List the parcel as being 24 acres, not 32. I'm sure some people know about this. And then it has on the bottom, it has 11, which shows the other bottom part of it, but it's listed as being in Plan 5, Lot 2. And then it goes into the map that Prosperity Development drew up, listing the land that they owned as owners unknown. Gets really weird. And then it goes into the big, goes into a big case that happened in the 60s with the Supreme Court and just the real estate transaction went down with almost 400 and something acres. And it was an agreement that wasn't recorded, and it went on for a few years. And that was also part of that, is the 24. So it has an identity that's inconsistent with title. You know, I mean, there's some things that have to be worked out on the history of this. Maybe a county done survey and an extensive history research by the county, a professional deed research, because we found here does connect, and it's by documents, there's no doctoring up anything. And it's here, and just wanted to, get that out. I was gonna bring a copy to you guys tonight too, Concom. Just to give you guys.
Mr. Chair, could I just comment on that real quick? And then I guess you guys are running out of time. But I would just say this, before the conveyance of the property to the town of Holbrook, okay, a title examiner needs to do a title search, okay? Prior to the taking of the land by the town, this would have had to been done. So the municipal lien certificates and all that stuff are in order, and, I mean, we appreciate your effort, but I don't think that there's anything in there that's probably, that the town would reconsider. I mean, they own the property now, am I correct? So,
Yeah.
they wouldn't own the property if it wasn't legally and it wasn't done by title. So regardless of like how, sorted the title path might look like.
8 acres off is pretty big.
Well, I don't, like I say, I mean, a title examiner
Yeah.
is more qualified than you and I to look at that kind of stuff, so.
Yeah.
Can we see that? I'm curious if is that part of public record as far as the title search and the work of the title examiner that's been done prior to the
Yeah, that's
conveyance
public
until the
record.
town?
You could request that.
Where can we get a copy of that?
Selectman's office.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
It should be, let's go record of that. Or even the assessor's office might have it as well, so.
Okay.
All right, well, let's not, let's,
Okay.
any other discussion?
Mr. Forty, is it called municipal lien certificate?
MLC, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, did you make a
Adjourn?
motion to adjourn then?
Adjourn, and we'll help put up signs for these guys?
All right.
All right.
Okay, thank you all for coming this evening.